This creek holds monsters. Brown trout bigger than you'll find just about anywhere. I've seen them plenty of times, but catching them is another matter altogether. The creek is small, and there are lots of undercut banks and submerged willows for fish to hide under and in. I'll have to give it everything I've got in order to catch a giant, but I'm excited to try. Let's get in there. This area was decimated by wildfire a few years back. The trees haven't come back yet, but there are still signs of life thriving all around me. This is the Colorado state wildflower, the columbine, although I'm not in Colorado. These are scarlet helio. They are definitely one of my favorites, and this was easily the largest carpet of them I'd ever seen. These are yellow-bellied marmots, common residents of the Mountain West. They're really cool, big, animated, rodent characters that are always scurrying around and just generally acting goofy. These guys here are young, born earlier in the year. The bigger one that just joined is their mother. I'm already over the moon capturing this little interaction. I keep rolling though, and to my surprise, we're still missing one member. What a beautiful family, each one keeping a watchful eye on me and I on them. I'll see a few more families of marmots as I continue hiking towards the creek. There's 3 in this clip. Can you spot them? Here's 2, literally playing peekaboo. And here's the other, also being shy. The other parent was down near the den, letting out a shrill warning call. Check out that big soft belly. After a half-hour walk downstream, I finally reached the point where I want to begin fishing. I'll fish upstream, back to my car, and I've got all day to do it. With any luck, this could be my time to catch some surprisingly large brown trout. We are back, guys, to one of the best creeks that I know, one of my favorite places. Nice, kind of small, medium-sized creek that is absolutely full of huge trout. I'm fishing the Orvis 4-weight Superfine today, and to get started, we're getting a little spicy, we're getting a little naughty here. I don't know if this is the best idea, but I'm just going dry fly only. A big size 12, kind of chubby Chernobyl type fly. They're definitely in here. Just kind of depends on if they're going to want to bite this fly right off the bat. And you know, we can always put in a dropper on the bottom of this thing. We're starting in kind of some shallow water, but you know, I've found that the fish in here really they don't stick to only the deep pools, especially this time of year. It's late June. Snow melt is kind of just tapering off here. The water levels look super nice today, really. Yeah, these fish can be anywhere. That's what I've found. So we're not going to skip over too much water. Well, there's a little eat right there. Small fish. Well, we got some good casts in there, but just that one little guy biting. I do like the fact that he was willing to eat this big dry. That doesn't necessarily mean the big fish in here are, but it's a decent sign nonetheless. We've only been going for 10 minutes so far, so we'll keep moving on up, and I got a good feeling we're gonna get lucky here. The real question is gonna be, how do I handle it once I hook into a big fish? Can I stay calm? Can I land it? Only time will tell. I got a good feeling about this hole. It's not super deep, but it's got some very suitable looking trout habitat here. Oxygenated. We're heading up towards some rapids, but some nice chill zones below it where they could be hanging out. I'm definitely nervous, but at the same time excited to hook into a big fish. I fought plenty of large fish on tenkara. I actually caught a 20-incher out of here on a big tenkara rod last season, but I just have just something about the rod and reel, the extra line to manage, more stuff going on. It hurts my simple mind, but that's what we're here for. We're here to practice, and hopefully we're here to succeed. Some really good looking drifts here. I like the look of this run a lot, like I said. Those last two casts were kind of the jam zone though. They look to be the best to me. All right, we'll make another few casts up above this little rock break here. Try not to get caught in the tree trunk. Oh, which is what I just did first try. Okay, we got out luckily. Oh man, yeah, that felt good. That was a good cast there. Right here. Oh, there's some sticks down below that's kind of messing with me here. Yeah, it's a good looking zone. We got one more little pocket to try, right to the left here. Good. There we go. First fish on. Not big, but we'll happily take the skunk off. This might be a brook trout. There are a few brook trout in here. In my previous experience, when the brook trout are biting, that's like all you catch. So that's a little troublesome, but yeah, we'll take it though. First fish of the day, nice little brookie, maybe 8 inches long or so. Cool. It wasn't the fish I was here for, but it still felt pretty good. These voracious predators are always down to eat a dry fly. Hopefully some brown trout will soon feel the same way. Another little brookie there. This is a very small pocket. I was just about to say, you know, I said when I first got here that these fish can be anywhere, really. But then I was gonna ask, well, where do I draw the line though? Because this is about 7-8 inches deep here. But it does look decent, with some little shadows tucked up under the willows here. And sure enough, that was a little brookie that popped up and hit it. Definitely still not what we're looking for, and I am concerned that the brookies are out to eat. But I'm still very much hopeful that we'll find a nice brown or a big rainbow. In June, for some reason, the rainbows are still up in here. This place does drop into a pretty big river, and I think perhaps they come up here and maybe they're left over from the spring spawn or something. But definitely later in the year, you really don't find those rainbows. Here we go. My drift got kind of messed up there. Needed some bend. Yeah, I don't know. I feel good that we tried here, but I think it could be safe. Oh, that's a good cast though. If this doesn't get it, we'll move on to a little deeper hole. or to the next good looking hole at least. Yeah, that looked awesome. Dry went right up under there. Cool. Pretty shallow in the tail out here, although I've seen, again, plenty of fish in this tail out. Absolutely. But we're just going to slowly work our way up, cast our way up. If we don't get a bite here, I'm going to be surprised. It might prompt me, there's a bite. I was going to say it might prompt me to make a fly change, but that's another bite there. That looked almost like a big brookie. I didn't get a great look at its head. It was definitely bigger than the ones we've been catching. It was a bigger trout. I don't know if it was a brown or a brookie. Nevertheless, at least some trout continue to bite our fly. Dude, this rod casts like a dream. I am a total novice, and this thing just shoots line out like a boss. I feel like such a badass with this thing. It's so fun. It feels so light in the hand. It's so well balanced, but it feels like it's got, you know, a nice, relatively stiff backbone to it. Super fun rod to handle. Huh. That was a nice cast right up along the left bank there. Kind of thought that I would potentially get a bite there. Of course, trout don't always do what you think they're going to do or what you want them to do, right? So, just because it felt like a good cast and because you'd assume there'd be a trout there, definitely does not mean that there is.
I was thinking that I should have had a bit more action at this point. We probably all saw it coming, but it's time to throw a dropper on below this dry fly. Today's choice is one of my favorite confidence flies, a simple, natural hare's ear waltz worm. This one is a size 14 with a pretty large tungsten bead. Check out flickyflies.com if you're interested in purchasing some flies tied by me, by the way. But for now, let's run through this hole again and see if we have some better luck.
All right, I threw a little size 14 copper waltz on the end of the line here with a 3.3 millimeter tungsten bead. Let's see what happens. Whoa. Oh my God, a tree just fell down there. Or over there, up on the hillside. That was wild. There's obviously hundreds of trees fallen on these hillsides. This place has been ravaged by fire and pine beetle. And man, yeah, all you need is just a little bit of a breeze and that stuff comes down. That was cool though, actually seeing it in person like that. I wouldn't want to be camping under those, that's for sure. Fish on. I don't know if it's a brown or a brookie, but I definitely know it's not very big. I think it's another little brookie. Of course they like the nymph. What don't they like, right? Oh, just kidding, it's a little brown. Hey, that's a good sign. So that brown is little, but he wouldn't eat the dry after multiple attempts. and he just picked up that nib. So I like that. That's a little sign of hope there.
That brown came from right under this willow. The whole valley is full of them. They're a bit monotonous when it comes to filming, but you can't argue that oftentimes the biggest trout live in places like this.
I don't think I've ever been here and had it not be windy as hell. I swear, dude. I looked at the forecast. It looked like it was going to be very, very, very calm. I think the high miles per hour that I saw was like 7. It's just never true. Never true here. There was a little fish. I hooked him as I was retrieving it to recast. I did see a flash there. It was a smaller fish, for sure. Another one. This looks kind of yellowy golden. This could be another little brown here. We're definitely not finding the size that we want, but we're catching them. Ah, and he's off. That's all right. Back in we go. Just further serves to build the confidence. But I'm going to be through the roof to the moon if I can manage to hook up to an actual nice sized fish in here today. We got all day to do it. A lot of times these wary meadow browns, they only come out as light gets a little bit lower. It's pretty much the middle of the day right now, which I'm not too worried about, honestly, because I have caught them in the middle of the day, but sometimes it's just not what they're in the mood for, right? So, yeah, we'll be here a while. We'll be here a while, grinding it out. All right, well, we got a couple nibbles. We got a nymph on the end of the line now. I'm going to move up, and I'll probably keep this on for a little bit since we were picking up a couple more fish that weren't willing to take that dry. Yeah, I feel like we have to try it at least in some more holes, and hopefully that'll be the key to our success. Fish on. I want to feel the weight of a big boy on the end of my line. I'm going to see what this rod is made of. But for now, we're going to have to make do with these guys. Yeah, another little brown. Certainly a pretty one. Nice red spots on this guy. There we go. Right, right where the creek dropped in. This split little creek cascade there. And what do we got? Yeah, a little brown. Still tiny. I'm ready for some big boys, but at least we're catching fish. So I can't really complain too much, you know? This looks very juicy. Really nice water. Really, really nice. I don't know if we'll catch a big one, but we'll definitely catch a fish. Pretty confident about that. And hoping for the best, hoping for a beast. They have really not been out to play today. Maybe they're tucked up under the banks. I don't really know. I suppose I should be switching my flies here and there, but this place doesn't get fished often, and if they won't hit that dry... Oh my god, that was a nice fish. And he hit that dry, barely. I don't think there was much I could have done to really set the hook in time. You know, it's kind of one of those things, you could have set the hook 20 different times and maybe you'd get lucky once and snag him, but it was barely a sip, you know. He kind of nudged it, didn't really fully commit. At least that's kind of what it looked like to me from here. Got mixed emotions right now. A bit of a bummer, but at the same time, very exciting to see a bigger trout in here, see one actually feeding, see him hit my dry fly. You know, these are all good things.
While a miss from a big trout wasn't exactly what I was looking for, it was definitely nice to get a bit of action from a bigger fish. It helps to confirm to myself that they're in here and, hypothetically at least, I could catch one. I decide to keep fishing this hole a little longer, until eventually I get one of the most voracious dry fly strikes I've ever seen. And this fish was huge.
Oh my god! That was a big brown, dude. Just came up and smashed the dry. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Ooh, that was a big fish. 16, 17, 18 all day. Could be up from there. Man. He just didn't connect to it. Come on. Come on. Come on back. Oh my god. What a freaking fish that was. Holy crap, dude. Dang. Wow. That got my heart racing. That was a monster. Once again, wish I could have connected with it, but I like seeing them. I especially like seeing them come after my fly. It's all promising. If only he had been a better hunter. Totally not my fault. Dang, God, that was a nice fish. All right, I switched to a much lighter dry fly. It's like a little kind of sulfur-colored mayfly. They're willing, at least occasionally, to kind of reaction strike to our big dry, our big hopper. So let's see if they want to hit this little guy here. Hopefully it doesn't result in much more small fish being caught. Hopefully the big boys are down to eat these too. I don't know, we'll see. There's a little guy. Maybe a little brookie, perhaps. No, another little brown. Every time I say it's a brookie, it's a brown. Yeah, another brown, but it's a little one, so that's all right. They're eating the dry that I put on, at least. There we go. Slightly nicer fish here. Yeah, this will be the biggest brown of the day here. Still not even close to as big as they come in here. Not even remotely close. But much bigger than anything I've been catching, which makes me very happy. Yeah, that's a solid fish. All right.
For the next few hours, the bite turned off completely. It was discouraging, but we all know that sometimes big browns just need to wait a little bit longer until the sun gets lower before they truly come out to play. At this point, that's the hope that I'm clinging to. In the meantime, the light was sure starting to get pretty. As the creek fell into shadow, the reflections of the sunlit willows really amped up. I loved this section here. So green. I fished a beaver pond briefly, to no avail, but here too, the reflections of the distant, fire-scarred forest create such a lovely, linear pattern in the water's surface. Check out this song sparrow, popping along the banks, looking for insects to eat. You see, even though the fish weren't biting yet, there was still a ton here to enjoy.
Better fish. That's a better fish right there. There he is. Oh shoot. Oh, this feels good. This is a nice fish here. Four weights handling them just fine. It's probably a 14 or so inch fish there, maybe 14, 15 on the dry. Ah, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. Something a little better. Oh God, yes, beautiful fish.
This was still about half as long as they come in here, believe it or not, but I was still ecstatic to catch this beauty. I wanted to catch something bigger yet, but the clock was definitely ticking. Here's where I hooked him, by the way, right in this little pocket. Now, a lot of you may already know this, but I am new to fly fishing, with a rod and reel at least. I've used tenkara almost exclusively for the past 4 years. All this to say, I'm seriously learning the ropes with managing line, especially while fighting fish. So unsurprisingly, this next fight here is super embarrassing, but I'm here to show the journey, both good and bad. So enjoy and feel free to leave a comment roasting me. I know I deserve it.
Nope. I was just about to say I can't see anything, but I do feel something. I think he hit my nymph. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, Chris. Don't. This is stupid. Don't let go of the line, even though he's on the reel. Oh, dang, that was a nice fish. That was 18 plus all day. I did not do a good job. I said in the beginning of the day, today was going to be a bit of a learning curve. And, yeah, it didn't actually break off. It just pulled out. No way. Honestly, I'm kind of glad about that. At least my knot didn't break. I should have been doing side pressure. I should have tried to keep him up above me. I was a mess. All right, whatever.
If you're into the vibe of this video but want to see me not screw things up quite so hard, consider subscribing, because in part 2 of this video, I come back for redemption and land one of the true giants that I was targeting today. For now though, enjoy one last fish, caught well after sunset. And it was pretty decent if I do say so myself.
There he is. Okay. Okay. No big deal. Yeah, I think this is pretty nice brown here. Biggest of the day. Okay. That's awesome. That's probably 16-inch fish or so, I'd say. There we go. Yeah, solid fish. Similar in size to my previous one, but I will take it. Very cool.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.